Hello, everybody. How you all doing today? Meeting back after a nice weekend. It's feels fresh and nice and energetic to travel this 1 week, exploring a lot of things, right? So I welcome you all. A very warm welcome on behalf of PSTV. And this is Ramya, and we have been dealing with debate. I have been handholding in this journey of developing good debate skills. So yes, today I'm exploring on writing, how debate helps us to develop good writing skills. We have dealt with all the three major quadrants on developing and mastering a particular language, that is listening, right from listening, then speaking, then we dealt with reading, and today we are dealing with the last quadrant, that is writing skills. So yes, so with that brief recap and intro, let's see how our day is lined up for us. So yes, we have a beautiful quote to start with. That is starting the day with a beautiful quote. And then we have trivia hour where we're going to explore some of the beautiful questions, maybe increase our GK, and then going into our topic of the day, that is exploring how. Today I'm going to introduce just the basics. What is writing skills and why is it important for us to even develop writing skills. So we're going to touch upon the importance and definitions of writing skills today in the first half of the segment. And then, yes, we will be taking a break with a Would You Rather game. And then I'm going to talk about the principles of writing. We are going to talk about some of the basic principles of writing and what is TTAP in respect to writing. Yeah. So this is how our day is for today, and these are the topics that we're going to cover. So do stick on with us and stay with us till the end of the session to understand more about writing skills and to develop good writing skills, right? And we'll also be looking at the relation, like how debate is in relation in with relation to debate, how writing skills can be improved. So yes, with that, guys, let's move on to the first section, that is writing, reading our beautiful quote. That is, here is the quote. Quote for the day is: learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. It's a Chinese proverb and beautifully said, isn't it? Learning is the only treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. And who is the owner? You, me, and everyone else who is open to learning. So learning will never leave you guys. Whatever you have learned, it's kind of a treasure that is going to be with you forever and ever. So I think it's a beautiful proverb from Chinese proverb. It's a Chinese proverb, and it kind of encapsulates the importance and why we need to keep the learner within us alive. And as we stress in every PSTV sessions, the whole idea of get bringing these sessions is that we learn something new every day. We add into us something new. Every session that we do here, it's just a small effort so that we can take from point A to point B. That means we learn some new segments every time we are engaging in these sessions, right? So with that beautiful quote, just reminding ourselves that learning is the key, and keep being open to learn at any moment, at any point of your life is something that I feel is very important. That's what I keep telling. Let the exploration never cease. With the exploration comes learning, right? So let's explore more today about writing skills. Yeah. Okay. Hi Rahul. A very good evening. Welcome. Yes, we just read the beautiful quote, and now we're moving on to the trivia hour, the much awaited one. I'm sure all my students love this section. So today I'm going to encourage you all again to take the first step to be confident. What is that? To participate, to engage, right? To interact, to voice out your opinions first, right? So I encourage every one of you here, my lovely students, to be actively involved in this process, right? Let's see how many of you can be, um, take the step, first step to become confident to participate in this session in the comment section box. Yeah. Okay, the first question is, what are the vowels of the English alphabet? In English alphabets, what are the vowels? How many vowels are there, by the way? And what are those vowels? Very simple question. Who can answer this? What are the vowels in our alphabet, English alphabet? And we have the very beautiful rhyme, right, that we used to sing to remember these vowels. Okay, come on, type it in the comment section. Okay, guys, right. I'm sure you all know it. A-E-I-O-U, right? And we had a beautiful rhyme for this, A-E-I-O-U, to remember these vowels, right? We actually, when I used to teach in one of the schools, we modified this song to make it relevant to our Indian, system, Indian culture. So we used to sing Lakshman Chacha had a farm. It's instead of the real version, we used to sing Lakshman Chacha had a farm. So that was a memory that I just rekindled in myself right now. Okay, which color symbolizes peace, guys? Which color symbolizes peace? Which color symbolizes peace? So each color has its own meaning associated with it. So which color actually symbolizes peace in the comment section, guys? Okay. Yes. Time to reveal the answer. It's white, right? So white symbolizes peace. Most often, while waging wars and everything, if they wanted to sort out things while by discussing things, the first thing what they used to do is they would show a white flag, so that they're saying that we want to get in peace with the other party by through discussion and not by waging war. So they would used to wave white flag. It's a symbol of peace, right? Okay. The next question: what type of gas do plants absorb? Yes. What type of gas do plants actually absorb? And this actually gives us and I know why we need to actually plant more trees and plants around us because of this one question. What type of gas do plants absorb? The one that we exhale. What do we exhale? What gas do we exhale? Yes, it's carbon dioxide, right? The one that we exhale, carbon dioxide, plants inhale them and they produce oxygen in turn so that we can inhale good oxygen. And without oxygen, there is no life, guys, right? So this is the reason, this is the core of it, why we need to preserve and maintain trees and plant more trees and plants around us, right? It's not doing a favor to someone else, it's like doing favor for ourselves. If you want to breathe good air, good oxygen, then it's time for us to take that initiative, responsibility to plant more trees, right? Because they're actually helping us, right? They're breathing in what we are exhaling, what is not good for us, that is carbon dioxide, and they're giving us what is needed for us, oxygen, right? So yes, every reason for us to plant a tree, right? Okay, guys, with that, the next question: who came up with the theory of relativity? Who came up with the theory of relativity? Which scientist? A famous scientist? Relativity? Okay, it's Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein. I respect the scientist a lot, and his one of the quote. It's so relevant even today. Like I would say, more relevant for our generation and now about the education system. He said that if a fish has to be measured and rated, marked based on its ability to climb a tree, he would always assume that he is a foolish person. Similar is our education system right now. I feel pity for it actually. Um, Not everything is based on marks, guys. We all can excel in many other forms. So yes, I would encourage everyone to take it in a good spirit, and whatever marks it is, however it is, like we need to focus on how to get better and not try to look at that as something that's um, um, something to put us down, right? However it comes, we should be in the right spirit to take that in our strife and move forward. Okay, so yes, Albert Einstein, a beautiful scientist and a very well known and very humble person. Yes, a lot of knowledge, wisdom, right? Okay, yeah. With this, I think it's now for us to move on to our actual section. I think we had a good warm up, right, with nice trivia questions, trivia hours. Now it's time for us to explore the topic of the day, that is writing skills, right? And that is, we are looking writing skills in relation with debate, how debate helps us to improve good writing skills. But today I'm going to just touch upon the intro, or like understanding what writing skills are, what is it, why is it important for us to learn. So I'm going to touch upon that in my first segment. So for that, let's explore the definition of writing. Writing is an essential skill that students need if they are to participate meaningfully and successfully in the modern world. Now, why does it say so? Especially because we are dealing with children and students right now here. I wanted to bring in context. Why writing is an essential skill for all of us to develop, especially as students, because if, for example, take the scenario right now, how are we actually communicating? There is a written text, right, which enables us to read for ourselves and decode what is written, right? The writing skills. And writing skills is used to put forth the uh, ideas and information right now here. I'm sharing through a writing. And also, how are you communicating back with me? It is again through a writing media, right? So we are typing in the comment section, you're writing in the comment section, and that's how you're communicating with me, right? And look at your exams point of view. How is it? How are you actually telling how much you have learned, or how do people rate, mark you based on how well you can put forth your right understanding about the subject, right? You write, again you use writing skills. How do you communicate with your other friends? If not, if you don't have I'm sure like a lot of us will not have a phone for ourselves at this point in time. We write emails, right? We use emails to communicate something, right? We can letters are not used so much right now, but yes, we do also write letters, right? So all these places, what is required? Writing. Writing is what is important. Okay. So yes, writing is an essential skill that all the students, all of us, in fact, need if we are to participate, if we are to participate meaningfully and successfully in this modern world. We are sitting from we are communicating with another person who is sitting right like in some corner of the world. How? By just putting a message, right? We type down a message, we write. Again, we use writing, right? So yes, this is why writing is a very important skill that each one of us need to develop. Okay. Yes. The other definition of writing skill scientifically is nothing. It is nothing but putting letters or symbols on any specific surface. And why on any surface? Because writing can be done on a piece of paper, or on the media, right? Right down, we are typing on using the technology, our messages, texts, emails, everything. It's all technology driven, right? Soft copy, soft skills, right? So that's why it means putting letters or symbols on any surface. It can be paper, it can be a gadget, in the gadget that you type down, Or it can also be carving. You can write down on a piece of or rock, or carve down on a rock or wall, everything, right? If you see our old architectural places, then you have a lot of writings that is there encrypted on the walls. So writing happens in any of these surfaces. Okay. So that is what writing skills or meaning. Other definition of writing is given. That is, it means putting letters or symbols on any surface. Writing is a creative skill. Writing is also, I would say, a creative skill because as other skills, proficiency comes with practice. It's the same with the case of writing. So any other creative skills that you are developing, how do you get proficient in that. It's because of your practice. The more you practice in that particular zone, you become more um, capable and more easily it comes to you. Similarly, writing is also one of a creative skill which comes with ease, right? When you do more and more practice. So it is just like any other skill. It just needs practice, is what I would like to stress right now. Yeah. So, and actually, why writing is needed, it can become into a career, guys. A lot of people develop writing skills and they choose that as a career itself, like poets, writers, novelists, and historians who take into account the history they jot down, right? So it also has the scope of taking that itself as a career. Looking at that, right? Someone is really good at writing and expressing their thoughts and uh, emotions or ideas, information through writing platform, writing media, it can become a career for them, right? So that's about writing skills and why is it essential, and how is it actually helping each one of us? Okay, yeah. So with these definitions, we'll move on to the importance of writing. Writing is used in our writing is used in our everyday life in almost all domains, right? So I can give like so many examples where we are using writing. Media of communicating is writing. For example, newspapers, when you see, we are getting to know what is happening around the world, how through a written format, right? Newspapers, so we read from it and it's coming in through a written format. Similarly, we also try to understand message. We convey our ideas, our thoughts, and everything with the other party through. Right now, it is through messages. We just it's just one message away to tell how you're doing, what you're doing, right? So it's again written. So again, all the social medias right now, what is there, right? You type down, you write and express what are you up to so far, right? That's in the current situation, right? So other than that, guys, it is also in context with students' life. In context with students' life, there are various types of writing that each one will be facing, right? Each one of will be facing in our schools, and while we are growing right now in our school, right? So we have different types of writing, that is emails writing, letters, and essay writing is what I would want to concentrate mainly for students. But other places are also like narrative writing. You write narrative writings, you write persuasive writing is there, free writing is there, independent writing is there, expository writing is there, where you expose the facts, right? So there are different sorts of writing that you come across when you are in your school, like when you're learning things, when you're developing yourself in school. So with respect to students, following are the three main uses of writing, which I would like to take a little bit in detail to just show you the importance of writing. It's just to show you the importance of writing. So yes, emails, letters, and essays. So what each domain deals with. Emails. So email is a dominant method. Email is a dominant method of communicating formally. So whenever you want to, like say for example, right now, um, you want to take a sick leave or something, right? So what do? it's sudden. It's all of a sudden that you have fallen sick and you can't go to school. What do? Immediately, your parents, you drop an email. You drop an email. It's a formal method of informing something, communicating with the other parties, basically with the institute, right? So you don't use message, right? You don't. It's an informal way. So formally, we use emails, and you also write emails if you have any query regarding your subject, or if you want any clarification from the institute. In all these places, the students are encouraged to raise an email, right? And not in any other forms of writing, not in terms of messages and so, right? So that's about emails. It's a dominant method of communicating formally, like formal method, right? So there are situations where we can use informal methods, and there are specific situations where we need to use formal method of communicating, right? So in that sense, emails is the best formal way of communicating your your issues or thoughts or opinions, anything, right? For that, what is important? Written format. So you need writing skills, right? So why is it considered? Emails widely they're considered because it is easy, convenient, and fast, because of its convenience, and quickly it gets delivered, and also because it connects people from different places and time zones. Doesn't matter which part of the world you are, and you want to communicate with anyone who is in another you know complete different corner of the world. It still is very easy, right? It's just one tap away, and you just need to have good writing skills to communicate what you want to communicate, right? So it's a very convenient form and easy to connect with people from different places across time zones, right? So this is importance of email in respect to a student's life. At the same time, um, an area where writing skills is predominantly needed. Okay. The next section that I wanted to highlight is our letters, right? Right now, we are not using letters to such a wide extent, but yes, letters are known to be the basic vehicles of business communication. What do you mean by business communication? For example, someone is hired in an office, right? So they will be receiving an official offer letter or things like that, and it will be sent through a letter format. And now it has become digital, but yes, for most of the business communications, they would like to have a hard copy in their hand. Okay, they will ask you to actually, even if they send a soft copy, they would say take a printout of it and keep it. So through letters, they communicate, right? Letters are known to be the basic vehicles of business communication, and they are widely used for external communication. Now, what do you mean by external communication? From one company to another company, or from one institute to another institute, if there has to be a communication, if they want to exchange some information and thoughts, that's called external communication. There's something else that is called internal communication. That writing is called memos, where teachers would get memos within the institute, right? There would be a memo generated from the higher authority, like the principal or headmasters, and it goes around the classes, right? It goes to all the teachers in the class to read out for the students what information the headmaster want to deliver to all the students. So that is an internal communication, that is memos. Now this is letters is mostly to deliver information to an external institute, from one institute to another institute. Okay, so that is why it is called external communication. Okay, letters is the external communication. And what is the mode of communicating here? Again, writing, right? So very important for us to develop. Another reason why we need to develop good writing skills, right? Okay, the last one which I want to elaborate, just to make sure that you're convinced and you know that writing skills are something which is very important for us to develop, right? So first thing is to understand why for everything. You need to question yourself, why writing skills, right? That question will be there and has to come. And only when you are clear with that why, you will go ahead and learn by yourself more about it, right? That's the whole effort here, to give you so many details, so many examples, to show you why writing skills are important. Yeah. So again, in respect to students, essays. The You will be given so many uh, times to write an essay about so many topics, right? And in fact, you're also writing essays in your exams. You're delivering your answers in the form of essays as well, right? You're communicating what you remember about the subject. When the question is given you, how do you deliver that information through a essay format, right? So essay is a written piece that is designed to present an idea, purpose, or an argument, express an emotion, or express an information, or initiate a debate, right? So in even debate, what you're writing, you have a format where you actually write down your debate, right? Again, you're writing, right? So this is why writing skills are very important, right? For especially I have discussed with respect to student life, but otherwise also, as I told you, there are many ways, many platforms where writing is the main mode of communicating, right? So books, uh, if you want to author, if you want to be an author of a book, you want to convey and you want to send a message across, and you want to put down all your thoughts, it is writing again, right? So if you have a thought of as I told you, writing can also be chosen as a career. If you want to be a poet, if you want to be a writer, right? So writing skills is again very important to choose that career. Mhm. And yeah, these are the importance of writing. And I hope this has made sense. And I hope you now have a better understanding of how widely writing has been used as a media to communicate information or ideas or anything, right? So different types of writing, as I told you, emails, letters, memos, essay writing, and there are other writings that is independent writing, narrative writing. If you want to narrate a story, kind it is narrative writing, expository writing. If you want to expose some of the facts, it's not the idea is not to give information or uh, convince someone, but more of giving facts and exposing some of the facts, right? So that is called expository writing. Persuasive, again, debate is persuasive writing, right? If you want to participate in a debate, you get into persuasive writing. You write your content in a persuasive form. Okay, so these are all the places where writing is essential and it has been used. Okay, yes. So with this, this is the first segment which we have come to an end, and with that, we'll move on to our next segment. Between that, we have a small what? It is our relaxing time to refresh, to relax our nerves, brain nerves. I've told you that it's very important, right? To actually calm it down and give that time, so that it's easy for us to receive more content once we are done with this relaxing activity. Yeah. So yes. So would you rather is our section for now. So first question is, guys, I hope you're all ready and key in all your answers in the comment section. And I'm looking forward for all of your participation and active participation, right? So this is the first step to build confidence, guys. Okay, to voice out your opinion. Okay, with that, the first question is: would you rather name your own island or be able to name your own sports team? Okay, what would you like? Would you like to name your own island or be able to name your own sports team? Okay, let's see how many sports freaks. Hello, Madina. Welcome. A very good evening. We have just been dealing with relevance of writing skills, relevance of debate with writing skills, how debate helps us to improve better writing skills. We've just touched upon um, the importance and definitions of writing skills, and now we are going to move on in our next section, dealing with TTAP. What is TTAP in relevance with writing, right? So that's a brief, recap for all those who have just joined in. And now we are into Would You Rather section. So the first question here is: would you rather name your own island or be able to name your own sports team if you're given a choice? hello Shiv Kumar, welcome, a very good evening. And he says Rose Island. You would like to give it a name to a uh, island, and he calls it Rose Island. Okay, nice. Okay, the next question. Would you rather teleport into another country or into another world? Okay, let's see. How many of you would choose to leave this world and get into another world? And how many just want to leave the present country and explore another country? Would you rather teleport into another country or into another world altogether? Come on, guys. Type it in the comment section and let me see. I would still say into another country. I have not yet finished seeing this world. So let me finish what I've been started. Okay, guys. What about you? Another world altogether. Shukma says he wants to leave this world and explore another world altogether. Okay, great. Next question, guys. Would you rather have tiny feet and huge hands or huge feet and tiny hands? Okay, funny question. And trying to imagine that is even more funny. So tell me, guys, would you rather have tiny feet and huge hands or huge feet and tiny hands? I'm reminded about the Pooh and the piglet. Who has huge feet and tiny hands? Okay, what would you choose, guys? I would say huge feet and tiny hands. Okay, next question, and that's our last question. I will see how many of you will key in the answers for this. Would you rather have a robot that is your friend or that is your servant? Okay, if given a choice that someone is going to, probably develop a robot for yourself, customize, what would you say? Would you rather have a robot that is your friend like or that is like your servant? Servant character or friend character? Customized robot. What would you say? A friend robot or servant robot? Yes, guys. I would definitely choose a friend robot. What about you guys? Okay, friend. Nice. Okay, guys. That's that's for Would You Rather session. And now we are moving on to the next half of the segment where we are going to come back to our actual topic, that is exploring our writing. And now we're going to deal with TTAP. What is TTAP in relation to writing and the principles of writing? I'm just going to give an intro to the principles of writing. I'm going to list down various principles of writing, right? Okay. So, what do you mean by TTAP? And why is it important to understand TTAP while we're talking about writing skills? Now, well, TTAP is an acronym for text, tone, audience, and purpose. But what are these? So these four things are should be asked in relation to the writing that you want to write. Right? What kind of So there are four questions that you need to ask yourself before you get into writing or if you want to write. And this you can also see vice versa when you're reading others or writing script. You need to ask the same questions and um, try to answer these four questions. Okay. So the first one is, what kind of writing is this, right? What kind of writing is it when you're reading someone's writing? And the same question for you when you want to write a particular piece of article or particular piece of content. What kind of writing do you want to write, right? Is it a letter format that you are looking forward to write, or is it a speech, or is it a debate, or is it an article, right? There are so many formats, so many ways of writing. The first question is to pause before getting into writing. We need to ask ourselves that what kind of writing is what kind of writing am I going to choose? Is it actually a letter that I'm going to write now, or is it a speech, right? So you need to get this question straight before you pen down things. In what format, what kind of writing you want to do. And similarly, when you are reading others writing, written content, you need to ask the same thing. Okay, is it in letter mode or speech mode? You need to differentiate. You know how a letter looks, right? And you know how a speech would look like. So first thing is to understand, is it a speech format or letter format, email format, a message? What kind of writing is it? What kind of text is it, right? So yes, two ways you need to question when you're reading and when you yourself are writing. Ask this question first. Okay. The next question that you need to ask is, what is the tone that you're going to use, or what is the tone that has been used when you're reading someone's text? When you want to write, you need to ask the same question. What is the tone that you're going to use? For example, if it is a letter that you've chosen in your first segment, what kind of text writing that you're going to choose? If it is a letter that you want to put a letter to someone, you have to send a letter to someone. Then the next question is, what is the tone that I have to use while I'm writing a letter? So, for example, will it be a formal tone or an informal tone? There is a format for writing an email, so it will be mostly a formal form, in a formal form, right? And letters, it also has to be in a formal tone, right? Hello, sir, or I'm doing well. How are you on the other end, right? All these are formal writings. Informal writings is when you type messages to each other and within friends and circles, like friend circles and family circles. Then you use informal way of communicating, right? So next question that you have to ask when you start when you want to write anything is, what is the tone that you're going to use in your writing? And similarly, understand what is the tone that has been used when you're reading others writing written text. Okay. The next thing that you need to look for and question yourself is, who is the text aimed for? Okay, who is the text aimed at? And with this also there will be a lot of change that you will see while you're writing. If your focus is on adults, definitely the kind of word choices, the kind of sentence structure, the kind of a level that you use, the English grammar level or whatever sentence structure level, everything, it'll change. If your audience is children, again it would change. If in general, right now for me the audience are children, the students, right? So my speaking, my written text, what is there, I would like to make it as crisp and as small as possible, but still delivering the important points, right? So there is a way to write, and while to be clear with the audience to whom you're writing, you're addressing, your writing can become much more clear, right? Much more clear and precise to the target audience, right? So the third question that you're going to look for when you are reading a text right now is to understand, what is the text, who is the text aimed for? You read a text and try to understand, evaluate the author, who for whom has he written, who is the audience that he's focused on. And when uh, you want to write your pen down your thoughts or your opinions, or what you want to write down something, again you should ask this question, who is the text that I'm going to aim for, right? And that will give you more clarity on what kind of words and sentences you're going to use while writing. Yeah? The last question that you have to ask yourself is, and the very important question that you need to ask yourself is, why has the text been written, or why are you going to write this text, right? So the purpose is the main thing, is the key actually, right? Which helps to bring in a beautiful writing by itself. Okay, what is to define your purpose is very important. Is your purpose to inform something? Is your purpose to entertain someone? Is the purpose is to explain some steps? Is the purpose to persuade someone? Persuade or argue is the same thing. That is in debate, in relation with debate, what kind of writing it is. The purpose is right now in debate, it is to persuade or to convince the other party. So your writing should be in such a format that it reflects persuasion. It reflects convincing part, right? So, for example, um, I strongly state that um, this is why the animals are going extinct, right? So then you can also use the tones like, um, firstly, I would like to state this point, and secondly, this is the reason why I'm standing for so and so topic, right? So all these kind of text selection, the tone selection, and the purpose behind it will combining all these four elements is what is going to make your writing complete, right? So, and in relation to debate, we are understanding that this writing is more of a persuasive writing that you're developing, okay? But you are getting an exposure to all these things. What kind of tone you're going to use? What kind of text are you using? It's a debate. The text is debate form of writing. What kind of writing? It's a debate writing. What is the tone you're going to use? Definitely in debate, what is the tone? It's a formal tone. You're not supposed to use an informal, but a very formal tone, because it is happening between two parties and there is a referee in between, right? It's kind of almost a competition that is happening, right? And you're stating your opinions in that. So definitely it's a formal gathering. Formal tone has to be used. And in debate again, who are the audience, and who are the audience you're aiming for. So as I told you, you will change your way of delivering your debate based on the audience who is there in front of you, right? And finally, the purpose, as I mentioned, it is to convince. In debate, the purpose here is to persuade, to argue out and convince people. So this is the purpose when you write down your debate, right? So these are the four questions that you are going to ask, just not in debate skills, but in any other uh, platform. If you are trying to write something new, you need to ask these four questions. Okay. And to start with, I would encourage that when you're reading your next text, when you're reading from the next text, the written form from any other author, try to see what kind of tone he has used. Try to break it down and see what kind of text he has used, who are the audience, who might be the audience, and what's the purpose in his writing, right? So definitely you will see a major difference between the information kind, entertainment kind, and the persuasion kind, which we will be dealing in the next session, that is tomorrow's section in detail. I'm going to show you different purposes of author, right? So that we are going to do tomorrow. Anyhow, I'm going to introduce to Today, I'm going to list down and introduce the major principles of writing. As I told you, the first and foremost, very important question and very important principles of writing is to get your purpose clear, to define your purpose very clearly. What is your purpose of writing? Are you, as I told you, information writing, right? Or explanation, explaining something, describing something, or persuading some topic, or entertaining, right? So all this is the purpose behind writing. You need to make sure what is the purpose with which you're going to write down this article or text next, okay? And then you need the next principle is to know the clear language. How do you put forth? The language needs to be clear and be objective. What is the main objective behind it? Okay. So finally, what do you look? So you have started with, when a person has started reading your book, maybe they're in point A. Where do you see this person at after reading the book? That's the objective, right? Where do you see this person after reading your whole book? Where do you see that person, right? So that's the objective of that whole book that you're going to write, or an article or write, or any text that you're going to write. Then the structure. Structure is again the ordering, the sequence. What kind of sequence is going to be there? Okay, and this sequence can be in terms of many forms. If you're writing in terms of timeline, if you're writing in terms of history, if you're trying to write down in terms of detail oriented, right? So you will have a structure, you will have a flow, and then there is choice of words. The right choice of words is very important, and this choice of words is again relevant to your question of who is your audience. Definitely, you have to change the kind of word selections that you're going to choose. If it is younger people, adults, or children, or students, or business people, right? So based on the audience that you're going to target, your choices of words has to change. The punctuation, where do you use what kind of punctuation is important, grammatically correct, proofread it before you submit, and what kind of style you're using, right? Again, the first slide, the first question that you had to ask, what style of, what kind of writing is this? Speech, debate, letter, emails, what kind of, what style of writing are you going to choose, right? So these are all, these comes under principles of writing. We will be dealing with principles of writing in detail, in detail, um, especially about purpose. In the next section, we are going to deal with um, what's the purpose or intent behind an author's penning down of thoughts. Why is he penning down certain thoughts, right? What's the purpose behind that? That is what we're going to explore in our next section. And in debate, guys, it is the authors, you as an author, when you're dealing with debate, your purpose should be persuasion. Your writing should be in a persuasion form, okay, convincing form. And how do we write that? That we are going to look at tomorrow in details, right? So yes, I think this is all for today's session, guys. I hope you have got something new to learn in this session. I believe so. The TTAP, which is something very beautiful that I've read about, and it has helped personally for me when I sit down to write, when I evaluate what is the text that I'm writing, what is it, then I question myself, who are my audience, and then I select what kind of tone should I use in this writing, and what's my purpose actually in this, right? So, guys, I would say try to question this first. What's your purpose while you're writing? And based on that, you decide the text, the tone, and also keeping in mind the audience factor, right? So this is for today, guys. Now, with all this recap, all this revision that has happened, I have restated everything that we dealt with so far from my um, beginning of the session. Now it's time to revisit from our understanding and answer some of these questions. So the first question is: writing is not that commonly used in daily life. True or false? What do you say, guys? Writing is not that commonly used in daily life, or is it a common mode of communicating in daily life? Is it common or is it not common? Is the statement true or false? Yeah. Okay. No. Yes. No. Right. That's right. So definitely it is. Writing is a very essential tool, and it's a very commonly used format of communicating thoughts and ideas in our day-to-day life. Look at our messages. Look at the comment section box right now. How you're commenting, how you're sharing your thought with me, how you're sharing your understanding, your idea. It's through writing. So it is a common. It is used very commonly in our daily life. Writing skills. Okay. Yes. The next one, the A in TTAP stands for audience. Is it true or false? We define four things which we need to ask ourselves. The text, in relation to writing, we need to ask what kind of text is it that I'm going to write, or what kind of text the other person has written when you're reading, what kind of tone they have used, formal or informal tone, and what kind of tone you are going to use when you are writing something. A is definitely what it is audience, right? Who are the audience who are there in front of me, right? That is the question you're going to ask. Who are the audience that I'm targeting while writing this piece of content? And similarly, when you're reading, you need to analyze who actually was the intended audience for this particular author when he was penning down these thoughts, right? You need to question that. So then, purpose. P is purpose. What's the purpose? The entire purpose behind writing something, right? So definitely A stands for audience. True. The next one is the tone of the text can either be formal or informal. Yes or no? Just now I redefined all the four of them, TTAP. So one T, which is the first T, stands for tone. And definitely, yes, it is a true answer. The tone in which the writing is done, it can either be a formal tone or informal tone. Formal is more like when you're greeting, like "Hi, sir," right? How warm greetings to you, right? All these are formal way of communicating. I request, again formal. I kindly want you to look into this issue, formal, right? So there's a formal and informal way of writing. It's all about selection goals. So definitely yes, the tone can be formal or informal while you write. Okay, the next and last question, guys. So the tone, yes, this we finished. Okay, purpose of the text plays an important role while writing. True or false? I define this again and again that yes, purpose is very important. Just not in writing, guys. In every stage of life, I would say that what's the even for example, you have to go to shopping. There is a purpose behind it, right? Why you're going for shopping? There will be a purpose. Maybe for um, with a definite purpose of buying some things, or sometimes the purpose is to just explore what are the new things or how things have been upgraded, right? But definitely there is a purpose. For every action we do, there's a purpose. So, and that purpose actually drives us to do that action, right? Similar way, in our writing, what encourages and drives us to make a better writing is the purpose. When we understand the purpose behind it, we can pen down better. Okay, so purpose of the text plays an important role while writing. True, very true. Okay, and in fact that's the very important question that we need to ask ourselves. Okay, and when it comes to debate, what kind of writing is this? What kind of writing is it when it comes to debate? The purpose is to convince, to persuade, to convince and to persuade, to argue out your point, right? So that's the purpose behind your writing in debate. That's the relation with debate. Okay, so with this, guys, this is how debate is helping us to develop a good writing skills as well, because all of these TTAP is been taken care of while you are preparing your debate, and this is holds true for any writing for that matter. Okay, so yes, with that, I have a last suggestion for tomorrow. Like you can um, try to look into this topic and try to bring in a lot of points, debate points for um, juveniles should be tried and treated as uh, adults. Okay, juveniles should be tried and treated as adults. What do you say? They're young. I know that crime is crime. So how do we treat them? Should they be treated as adults? And how do you look at this point, guys? Are you for this topic or against this topic? Let me know tomorrow in the comment section. Try to employ this. By the way, guys, I forgot to ask you, how was the activities? Did you try out some activities? I suggested two activities: the role play debate activity and four corner debate activity. I hope you tried out. I hope you all of you tried out and had a good learning through it and gained a lot of information and knowledge through that in a fun way. So this is another topic which you can explore for next session before I meet for the next session. Yeah. Okay. So with that, guys, we have come to the end of this session. A quick review about what we did so far. And in this session, it was all about understanding the relation between debate and how it helps us to improve writing skills. Today, we gave an intro to writing skills. What is writing skills? Why is it important to learn writing skills? And how do we see the usage of writing in daily life and in specific to students' life? We discussed about emails, um, or letters, and also essays, different kinds of essays that you are provided for you to write. And also exams, guys, you have to write, right? It's again depending on writing, right? So that's the importance and definition of writing that we saw in the first section. Now in the second section, we just saw about what is TTAP and relevance of TTAP while you want to write a text. So TTAP stands for the text, what kind of text you're choosing. Another T stands for tone, what kind of tone you're choosing, formal or informal tone. And then we had A, what kind of audience are you targeting in your writing. And last one, P, which is very important, that is purpose. What's the purpose of writing? Okay, so in debate, it is persuasion. Okay, and we do take care of all the other three questions, the tone, text, and audience part while you're preparing for debate. And that is how a debate is enhancing you to develop good writing skills as well, because you are considering all these points, which is true for any other writing. Okay. Okay, guys. So with that quick recap of our session, we are going to end the session with just a follow-up. What you can expect for tomorrow's session, right at sharp at 5 o'clock, is author's purpose. What are the different purposes with which? What is the intention behind an author writing something, right? So different authors' purposes is what we're going to explore tomorrow. And stay tuned, guys, to learn more about writing skills and all of it in relation with debate. So we're still dealing with debate and how all of these things are a sub skills that are being added on or developed while you're exploring and learning the major skill that is debate. Okay. So yes, ultimately the whole idea is to make us more confident, right, in any of these four quadrants of English that we have explored. It's in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. We want to become more confident and master all of these things, right? So yes, um, with this, I would end this session, guys. Um, have a beautiful evening and have a good day, good time with the family, friends, and yes, of course, for yourself, have some time for yourself, right? So I always encourage to have some me time, which is called completely dedicated to yourself, to take the stock of what all you did from morning to night and see, like, reflect on those things. So do have your me time and see what comes out of that. Okay, explore yourself too, understand yourself too, right? Okay, so guys, be awesome, be yourself, and be ready to do great things, because you are the future of the world. With that, I take a leave, guys. So take care. See you tomorrow at 5 p.m.